Students, welcome back to Unix programming class. So we have already studied about this file ownership. Now we'll see how to change the ownership of the file. So for that, just we will have a recap of the concepts. So when you create a file, you will become the owner of the file. So that is the first point. Every owner is attached to a group owner. Okay, every owner is attached to a group owner. Several users may belong to a single group. Okay, several users like accounts group in an organization, production group, sales group, isn't it? So many users may be belong to same group. But privileges of the group are set by the owner of the file and not by the group members. Who created the file? Only that user will be able to set the privileges. Privileges means access permissions, readability, writability or executability will be set by the owner of the file but not any other group members. Okay. Then we have user ID and group ID. This user ID is the name of the user plus the numeric representation of the user, and group ID is again the name of the group and the numeric representation and ID number of the group. Okay. Then the mode field which is given by -L option, ls -L when you give the mode field, that is the first 10 character. The first character will tell you the type of the file and the rest of the characters will tell you the permissions for user, group and others, right? See, D for directory, type of the file will be D for directory, a dash for regular file, B for block device file, C for character device file, L for link file, S for socket file, right? See, I am going fast because we have already studied this. The next 9 characters, it is combination of 3 plus 3 plus 3, user, group and others. They indicate the file access permissions. First 3 for user, next 3 for group and the final 3 for others. We have discussed now, user is the creator or the owner of the file who created the file. Group means a group of people who can access that file. Say for example, 5th sem A section, 5th sem B section students are a group of students, right? And in organization, if we take account section, is a group of people who can access all account related information. Then sales people, sales department people, all those are a set of users, a group of users who can access information about the sales of the organization, isn't it? So that is the group of the file. And others means any other people who doesn't belong to this group, okay, or they are not the creator, okay, they are not the creator of the file who created the, they are not the users, they are not belonging to any group, some other people, external people, maybe some client of an organization who want to have business with the organization, or the person who want to apply for a job in an organization. Those are all others, right? Similarly, here in our case, if I create a file, I will give 5th sem and 5th sem A and 5th sem B section students the access for that file. Any other student who is apart from A section or B section, maybe they are 7th sem students, maybe they are 3rd sem students, or they are from different department, they want to learn Unix, okay, so such people will become the others. Fine. So now designations are as follows. So that permissions will be like this: R for read permission, W for write permission, X for execution permission we represent, and dash for no permission, absence of the permission. Okay. So example is like this. We have already studied this first character. See, these are all 10 characters, combination of 10 characters, right? So in those 10 characters, the first character will be representing the type of the file. That means a dash means it is a regular file, D is a directory file, L is a link file, right? So your first character in this 10 characters, which will be the output of ls-l command, will show you the first character will tell you what type of file it is. Okay, then the next 3 characters in this 10 character set is the permission for users, okay, for the particular file. Suppose this is for the file, this first line is the file f1, permissions for the file f1, second is for f2, and third is for f3, let us say. So for f1 file, user has read, write and execute permission. F2 file, user has read, write and execute permission, and F3 file, user have read and execute permission, write permission is not there. Okay, that is how we represent. Then coming to the group. So for group of people, what permissions are given? For the file F1, the group permissions are read and execute. Only they can read the file and execute the file, but writing is not given. Write permission is not given. For F2 file, we have R dash dash. That means only read permission, write and execution permissions are not given. Okay, then F3 also for you group people, only read permission, write and execute permissions are not given. Okay, then finally the permissions for the others. So for the file F1, we have R minus minus, that means only read permission, write and execution permissions are not there. For F2 file, again R minus minus means only read permission, write and execution permissions are not there. But for F3, others cannot read, write or execute. No permissions are given. That means F3 file cannot be accessed at all. Okay, cannot be accessed at all. So that is the meaning of these permissions. Fine. Then coming to changing of file permission. Suppose you want, first you have given a set of permissions, but later you want to change that permission. You want to give some permission or you want to take off some permissions given. Then you can use this method of changing file permission. A directory or a file is created with a default set of permissions. Okay, so whenever you create a file or a directory, they will be having some default permissions, right? So when we say ls minus l, it will show you a set of permissions, but we have not set it, right? Nowhere in the previous cases we have set permissions for any file or a directory. But when you say ls minus l, all of them will be having some set of permissions. How it comes? Because by default, the files or a directory when you create, they will be having default permissions given by the system. Okay, so let us assume that the file permissions for created file is rw dash r dash dash r dash dash. Okay, so let us take the default permission for a file. So let us take the file name as f1. Okay, let us take the file name as f1. So then for file f1, let us say we have these permissions. Okay, for user we have read and write permission, for group we have read permission, and for others also we have only read permission. Okay, so let us see. Using chmod command, okay, using chmod command, this is the command. Chmod is the command which is used for changing the permissions for a file or a directory. Okay, both for file and directory you can use chmod command, changing the mode of the file. That's why it is chmod. Okay, you can change the file or directory permissions. The command can be used in two ways. Okay, it can be used in two ways. One is relative manner and the other one is absolute manner. Okay, so two ways you can change the permission of a file. Let us see both of them, relative manner and absolute manner. So what is this relative manner? Relative manner means you will not disturb the other. Suppose, like for example, you want to give execution permission. Here the group people doesn't have execution permission, right? You want to give execution permission for group, but other permissions you don't want to disturb, like user permissions and other permissions you don't want to disturb. You want only to change the permissions of the group. So that's in that case you will use this relative manner of changing the permission. Only you are interested in changing only that permission which you are concerned with. Okay, you are not disturbing any other permissions. That is relative manner of changing permission. But absolute permission means absolutely everything you are changing, whatever may be the previous permissions, everything at once, all permissions of user, all permissions of group, all permissions of others you are going to change. Okay, that is the absolute manner. Relative manner means only that particular permission which you are concerned with, that you will change. Rest of the permissions will not be disturbed. Whereas absolute manner means all the permissions will be changed irrespective of whatever the permissions previously that file has. Okay, so that is relative and absolute permission. Okay, relative permission. Let us discuss both of them. Let us go with relative permission. Chmod only changes the permission specified in the command line and leaves the other permissions unchanged. I told you, no, only in which you are concerned with, only that permission will be changed. Rest of the permissions will be unchanged. Okay, you will not touch them. Syntax of relative permission is like this. Anyway, the command used for both relative permission changing and absolute method of permission changing is chmod only. But the arguments you give here will differ. Okay, arguments which you give here will differ, but the command chmod remains the same. Okay, so what you will give, chmod, the category which you want to change, user category or the group category or the others category, that you will mention. Then the operation. Operation is whether you want to give the permission or you want to take off the existing permission. That is operation. Operation is plus or minus. Plus means you are adding the permission, minus means you are removing the permission. Okay. Then permission. Which permission? Whether read permission, write permission or execution permission, that you will specify. Okay, then the file name, to which file you are going to change this. Okay, so here only you should give this file name, but as the space is not there, it has gone to the next line. Okay, so chmod, this is the way you use the chmod in relative manner. So what it is, you will give the command chmod, then the category. Category is either the user, group or others. Permission, operation is either plus or minus. Plus for adding the permission, minus for removing the permission. Then permission, which permission you want to give or remove, read permission, write permission or execution permission, that you will specify. Then to which file you are adding or removing the permission, that you will specify here in the space of file name. You can change, you can give, say, file name or file names I have given here. That means you can change permission for a single file or you can change permissions for multiple files also. Okay, let us see some examples. See here, chmod, this is the same syntax what I have given in the previous slide. I have given here for reference. Okay, so here let us see what are the values you can give for this category. You can give user category, groups category, others category, or all of them you can say as A, or UGO you can say. Okay, for user it is U, for group it is G, for others it is O. Okay, for user it is U, for group it is G, for others it is O. Only single letter you will use. Okay, and for all of them you want to change some permission, then you can give either UGO or you can simply say A. A means all. UGO is all, only all categories, right? You are including all categories, so you can say A, representing all. Okay, then the operation. See, operation here, this operation, what you are giving, plus for giving the permission, assigning the permission, minus for removing the permission, and equal to is absolute permission. Okay, then permissions, what permissions you can give? This permissions you can give either read permission or write permission or execution permissions, and they will be represented by these letters R, W, X. Okay, so that is how you can do it. Is that clear? So category is user, group and others. Operation is plus, minus, equal to, and permission is R, W, X. Okay. Let us see some examples. Let us say ls minus l xstart. So what is xstart? Is a name of the file. Okay, xstart is a name of the file, and we are telling that ls minus l xstart means ls long list the xstart file. So what you will get? All of these attributes, long list of xstart file. So this thing what you are getting with the output of this ls minus l, that permissions we are going to change. The first character we are not changing, right? This first character we are not changing, that is the type of the file that we cannot change, but the rest of the 9 characters we can change. Okay, first 3 for group owner user, second 3 user or owner, both are same. Okay, so user is the owner of the file, the person who created the file becomes the owner of the file and is also called as user of the file. Okay, next 3 permission is for group and the other 3 permissions are for others, last 3 are for others. Okay, so these are the permissions of xstart. Okay, so we have what permissions we have for xstart. For user we have read, write and execute permissions, all of them. And for group what we have read only, read permission only, w and x are not there, that means write and execution permission is not there, only read permission we have. And again for others also we have only read permission, no execution and write permissions are there. Okay, these are all the things you know, right? This is the number of links for the file, this is the user of the file, this is the group of the file, this is the size of the file, how many bytes, this is the date and time of creation of the file, and this is the name of the file. Okay, these are all the attributes which will be listed when you say ls minus l for a file long list. Okay, so let us go with the changing permission. So what happens if you give chmod g plus x? So what it is representing we have seen in the previous case, right? chmod, then you give the category, then you give the operation, then you give the permission which you want to change, and then the file name or file names, isn't it? That is the way we are giving here. So chmod means change the mode of the file, permissions of the file. G means group. For the group you add the execution permission. See, check here, this is the reference we have taken, these are the reference permissions we have taken. So there do we have execution permission for group? No, right? Only read permission is there for the group. Now we are trying to add execution permission for the group. Okay, so let us say what happens after if you give ls minus l xstart. See, this is executed successfully, no errors. See, when you will get an error, when you don't have access to that file, if that file doesn't exist, or if you don't have permissions to change the permission of the file, in that case you will get the error. Okay, so now it has displayed no error. We'll execute and check also. No, it has not given any error, so it will be successfully executed. Now if you say ls minus l xstart, then permissions are like this. Do you observe any change with the first set of permissions and second set of permissions? Yes, we have here the x permission, that is the execution permission added for the group, isn't it? You can notice that for the group category of users, execution permission is added, isn't it? So that is how you can change the permissions for the file. Okay, then the next example, see, at once you can change the multiple users permissions also. Okay, so now you say chmod, and you should observe also here in the previous case we are changing only group permission, but rest of the permission remains the same, they are untouched, right? That is relative mode of changing permission. Okay, relative permission changing, only we are concerned with the permission, execution permission of the group, we changed it, but rest of the permissions for user or for the others we have not changed, right? So they remain the same. Fine. So now in the next example, here we are telling that it should be GO plus X for the X start file. GO means group and others. For both of them we are giving execution permission. Okay. For group and others, both we are giving execution permission. Let us say these are the original permissions of the file, and now you want to change only group and others execution permission. What you want to do, you want to add execution permission for group and others. Now it has successfully executed, no errors. Now if you say ls minus l, then long list will be displayed, and you can observe that both group and others have execution permission. See here we didn't had execution permission for group and others, right? But here we added execution permission for both group and others. Is that clear? Okay, next let us see minus, that means removing the execution permission. chmod go minus x start. For the file x start, we are removing the execution permission. Just now we added, no? So now we want to remove the execution permission for group and others, and rest of the permissions we are not touching. Okay, we are not disturbing. So let us see what happens. It has executed successfully, and now if we say ls minus l, then it will give you the permissions attributes, all the attributes, and you can observe that here the group and others don't have the execution permission, because using this we have removed it. Okay, using this we have removed it. Is that clear? So that is how you can use plus or minus operators to add or remove the permissions. And you should also specify to whom you are adding, to which category of users, and what permission. That also you should specify. Is that clear? Next, when you say ls minus l x start, so let us take for reference these permissions. Okay, let us now assume that for x start file we have these set of permissions. RWX, all permissions for user and group, but others don't have W permission, write permission. Let us say, for example, we have this set of permissions. Now let us say chmod c. Here in this case we are changing permission, multiple permissions for multiple category of users, by separating it with a comma, isn't it? By separating it with a comma, you can give multiple, you can change multiple permissions for multiple category of users, and there can be one addition and one removal also. It need not be both the same. Okay, one can be an addition of permission. So these are all expressions, right? This is one expression, this is another expression, right? So those expressions can be either, one can be addition expression, one can be removal expression. Both need not be the same expression. Okay. So now chmod ugo minus x means, ugo means what? Okay, when you execute this command and after that it is successfully executed, after that you say ls minus l, then it will display. See, you can observe here, you can observe that execution permission is there for group, others and owner, all of them. Okay, user, group and others, all of them we have execution permission, but here you can observe that no user category have execution permission. All of them are removed because of this expression ugo minus x, means for user, group and others remove execution permission. So that is done, right? And another expression says that for group users remove the write permission. Okay, for group users remove the write permission. Is it done? Yes. See here the group users have W write permission, but here the group user doesn't have the write permission. Okay, group user doesn't have the write permission, it is also removed. See, in this case, for this UGO, you can also say a minus x. We studied that, right? A minus x. UGO is nothing but a, isn't it? In the previous slide we saw that UGO or a, both are same. All means, a means all category of users. That means UGO. So either you can say UGO minus x, or you can say a minus x. Okay, both of them are same. See now, as I just discussed, UGO plus X means for user, group and others, you are giving the execution permission. The same command you can write as UGO A plus X. UGO is replaced with A. Okay, so UGO can be written as A, all category of users. Or you can simply say plus X. Without A, without UGO, you can simply say plus X. It is also the same. See, either you can say this UGO plus X or A plus X or simply plus X. Everything is the same. Okay, it represents the all category of users. Okay, you have to add execution permission for all category of users. That is the meaning. Okay. Any one of the expressions you can use for representing all category of users. Now if you say ls minus L, then see, for all of them execution permissions are added. For all category of users, execution permission is added. So then chmod accepts multiple file names also as their argument, like this. You can change permissions for many files at once. Okay, many files at once. Here 3 files, note 1, note 3. So for all these files you can set permission which is given here. Multiple files can be used as arguments with chmod. U plus X means for users, that means the owner of the file, execution permission should be added for note 1 and note 3. For note 1 and note 3, the execution permission for users, category of user, should be added. Okay, like this you can change the multiple files permissions at once in a single command. Let us execute and check the chmod command in Termux. Okay, first let us check what are the default permissions for a file. Let us say ls. Okay, we'll create exstart file. Okay, we'll create exstart file so that you can understand clearly and remember. So as I don't have exstart permission here in my system, so I will say exstart file I'll create. How to create? You can use vi command, or you can use gedit command, or you can use cat command for creation of the file. I will say cat exstart. Okay, read only bash. Just a moment. I think I have changed to root. Let me check. pwd. Yes, I am in root, so it is not allowing me to create file. Let me change to my home. Let us check where we are. Now I am in home. Okay, so now let us create the file cat greater than exstart. So now it is giving me option to write something into the file. Let me say good morning. Okay, then I will say Control D to stop putting into the file. Now the exstart file is created. Okay, so now let us say ls minus l exstart. See now what permissions are there? No permissions at all. Only user means who have created. I have created the file, right? So I have become the user of the file. I have only read and write permission, but other categories don't have any other permission, right? No other categories, that is group and others, don't have any permission. All are dashes. And the first character you can see is a dash. What does it mean? Exstart is a regular file, right? Is an ordinary file. Ordinary or regular file, both are same. Okay. Okay, let us execute the commands. Okay, let us say chmod for group. Let us give for group read permission. Okay, let us give for group read permission. So how do we say? G plus R, isn't it? G plus R, and you have to specify the name of the file exstart, isn't it? Chmod G plus R means for group category you are giving the read permission, right? Now it has executed successfully. Let us see the permissions. Yes, see, you can see in the previous case here for the group category read permission was not there, but now here for the group category the read permission is added. Can you see here? Yes. Okay, so that is how you can add permission for any particular category. Any particular permission you can add this without disturbing the other permissions, isn't it? The other permissions, user permissions and others permissions are safe. They are not changing. Only group permission is changing because we changed only that permission, isn't it? Let us give execution permission for both group and others. Okay, so how to give? Let us say chmod for group and others. So you should say GO for group and others. Let us give execution permission for the file exstart. Okay, chmod GO plus X means for group and others we are giving the execution permission. So it has executed successfully. Let us check. Yes, is it not? For see here the previous permissions you check. Here we didn't had execution permissions for group and others, but now in the latest case after changing the permission we have execution permissions added for group and others, right? That is how you can add permissions for multiple category of users. Okay, now let us remove some permission. Let us say execution permission we just now added. Now let us remove them. Okay, let us say chmod for group and others. Let us remove is minus, right? Let us remove the execution permission. Okay, let us remove the execution permission. And also if you want to remove the read permission for group, you can say a comma and you can say G minus R. That means for the group category of users, remove the read permission. Okay, and for which file? Exstart file you should say. Okay, so you are removing the group and others execution permission and groups R permission. Okay, it has executed. Let us check. Is it not? So read permission of group and execution permission of group and others both are removed, isn't it? Both are removed. Yes. Then we will say for all category of users. Okay, let us check for all category of users. Let us say chmod for all category of users. How do you represent? A, isn't it? For A you can give execution permission, isn't it? For all of them we don't have execution permission, right? So you can give execution permission for all category of users. Let us say A plus X execution permission. Okay, A plus X, then the name of the file. You can say UGO also, and you can say simply plus X also, it will work. Okay. So now for all category of users, execution permission is given. Let us check. Yes, right. Previously we didn't had execution permission for any category of users, but now we have for all category of users execution permission, right? So that is how you can specify. Now you can also say chmod plus or minus, you can say simply minus no, plus r. Okay, let us say plus r, because yeah, minus x we can check. Simply minus x. Okay, for x start file. So now what happens? Okay, some permissions issues. Okay, here it is changing only the execution permission, removing only the execution permission of user, but not group and others. So why it is doing, I will check and let you know. Okay, it says new permissions are this one. It is removing only execution permission of user, but not group and others. It says this is the permission and not this what we are expecting. So why this message, I will check and let you know. Okay, so now after you say that, this will be your new permission. It is removing only execution permission of this user and not group and others. Okay, so let us change, let us give read permission for group and others. Okay, so let us say chmod go plus r, group and others, you give read permission for the file xstart. So now check. Yes, read permissions are there for group and others, isn't it? So that is how you can give permissions for the file. Now let us see how we can change permissions for multiple files. Okay, so let us say chmod for multiple files. Okay, first we will check what are the permissions. We have f1, f2, right? So we will see the permissions of f1. We should say minus l, and f1 and f2. So these are the default permissions: read, write, permission for user and no permission for others. And what our xstart is having, okay, let us change only for f1 and f2. Let us not consider xstart this time. So can we give read permission for group and others, or we can give execution permission for all of them? Okay, so let us give execution permission for both f1 and f2. So let us say chmod execution permission means plus x for all of them. Okay, if I am not mentioning the category of users, it is applicable to all categories. Okay, for the file f1 and f2. Is it done? Let us check. It is giving only to users. So group and others it is not giving, so it is having some problem with minus. Okay, minus without specifying the categories. Okay, let me check that. I will check and let you know. Then okay, let us say chmod, let us say group and others, we will give the read permission. Okay, for the file f1 and f2. Now let us check the permissions. Yeah, we have got read permission for group and others, isn't it? That is how you can change the permissions using the relative mode of changing permissions. Is that clear? Okay, in the next class we will see absolute mode of changing permission. That's all for today. Have a good day. Bye bye.